Have you ever realized that as you grow older, you don't visit people as much as you used to? Maybe you were once the type who made regular rounds, dropping in on friends, showing up to every gathering, always staying socially active. But over the years, something starts to shift. You begin to hesitate before heading out, and those spontaneous visits don't seem quite as essential anymore. And you know what? That's completely okay. In today's video, we're going to explore 6 honest reasons why I've stopped going around to visit people like I once did. This isn't about becoming withdrawn or cutting people off. It's about recognizing how your priorities evolve, how relationships naturally change, and why being intentional with your time and presence matters more now than ever. If you've ever felt this way but struggled to explain it, keep watching. This might help you express what you've been feeling. Stick with me until the end, because these insights could shift how you view your relationships and help you feel more at peace with the choices you're making. Let's jump in. Number 1, saving energy for the connections that matter. As we age, it becomes clear that our energy isn't as endless as it once seemed. Things that used to feel easy, driving across town, engaging in long conversations, attending every social function, now take a heavier toll. It's not that you've lost interest in seeing others, but you become more mindful about how and where you invest your time and energy. You start to ask yourself, who genuinely matters to me? In younger years, being social often means keeping up appearances, maintaining connections with a wide range of people, and saying yes more often than not. But as time passes, your perspective changes. You begin to seek depth over breadth. It's no longer about being everywhere. It's about spending time with those who bring peace, warmth, and genuine joy into your life. What once felt like important drop-ins now seem like a drain on your limited energy, especially when that energy could be used to strengthen deeper, more meaningful relationships. Think about how often you pushed yourself to show up somewhere out of guilt or obligation, only to come home mentally and emotionally drained. You sit through surface-level conversations, share space with people who don't truly know you, and leave feeling like your time could have been better spent at home. Eventually, you come to a powerful realization. Your time is precious, and not everyone is entitled to it. Take Martin, for instance. He used to feel bad for turning down invites. He worried that skipping visits would make others feel he didn't care. But over time, he noticed something important. The people who genuinely valued him didn't require constant visits to maintain a strong, loving connection. Instead of pouring his energy into surface-level connections, he began investing in deeper, more meaningful relationships. And suddenly, being social no longer felt like a chore, but a genuine source of joy. It's not about cutting yourself off from others. It's about making thoughtful choices. You don't need to attend every gathering or meet with everyone to show you care. True relationships aren't built on constant presence. They thrive on mutual respect, authentic appreciation, and understanding of each other's time and space. Number 2, steering clear of unnecessary stress and drama. One of the most important lessons that comes with age is realizing that not all social interactions are worth sacrificing your peace. There may have been a time when you tolerated gossip, unnecessary disagreements, or people who brought more negativity than positivity. But as time goes on, you begin to see that protecting your emotional well-being takes priority over keeping every connection alive. It's not that you've stopped caring about others, it's just that your tolerance for drama has faded. You no longer have the urge to argue over trivial things, revisit old wounds, or sit through conversations that leave you drained. If visiting someone means exposing yourself to stress, whether it's family conflicts, subtle jabs, or repetitive arguments, you begin to ask yourself, why am I putting myself through this, really? Think about it. Have you ever left a get-together feeling completely worn out? Maybe you sat through a meal where the focus was constant complaining, or you dropped by someone's house out of duty, only to be met with criticism, gossip, or negativity. There comes a time when you realize moments spent in toxic environments are moments you won't get back, and at this stage, every minute counts. Take grace, for example. She used to visit certain relatives out of habit. Even though every visit left her emotionally depleted, there was always tensions, always a conflict bubbling beneath the surface, always a sense of being underappreciated. One day she made a decision to stop putting herself in situations that drained her. Instead, she chose to surround herself with people who uplifted her, appreciated her, and made her feel seen. And for the first time in years, being social felt good again. Here's the simple truth. You are absolutely entitled to protect your peace and your energy. You don't owe anyone your time, especially when it comes at the expense of your happiness. Avoiding unnecessary drama isn't being disrespectful, it's being smart. Because the people who truly value you won't expect you to endure negativity just to prove your loyalty. If you're still watching this video and these thoughts resonate with you, drop a number 2 in the comments so I know you're here. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Your support means a lot and helps us keep creating content that informs and uplifts. Now let's continue. Number 3. Finding comfort in familiar spaces. Let me know if you'd like me to rewrite this next part too. There's something about being at home that just feels right. Over time, you create a space that's uniquely yours, a place where you can unwind, reflect, and simply be yourself. And as the years go by, that sense of comfort becomes even more important. The thought of getting dressed up, driving across town, making small talk, and spending time in someone else's space just doesn't hold the same appeal it once did. It's not about avoiding people, it's about valuing the peace your own environment brings. When you're younger, there's often a strong desire to stay busy, chase social events, and seek out new experiences. But eventually, you begin to understand that being out and about isn't always better than being in your own space. There's a unique kind of joy in waking up in your own bed, sipping coffee from your favorite mug, and knowing your day will unfold exactly how you want it to. No pressure to entertain, no need to work around someone else's plans, just the simple comfort of living life on your terms. For some, visiting others means navigating spaces that aren't all that comfortable. Maybe their home is too noisy, too busy, or just doesn't feel relaxing. Maybe the chairs aren't as supportive, the environment feels unfamiliar, or you don't feel quite as at ease as you do in your own surroundings. The truth is, as you get older, your physical and emotional comfort becomes more important than trying to meet every social expectation. And if being at home brings you more peace than traveling to visit others, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Take Raymond, for instance. He used to feel bad about turning down invitations, but every time he went out, he caught himself watching the clock, the noise, the interruptions, the unfamiliar vibe. It left him drained. One day, he made a decision to stop going out just to be polite. Instead, he started inviting others to visit him when it worked for him. And for the first time in a long while, socializing felt enjoyable again, not like a chore. There's a reason your home feels the way it does, because it's tailored to you. It's where you feel secure, where your favorite things live, where you can move through the day without having to adjust for anyone else. Choosing to stay in more often isn't about shutting the world out. It's about honoring the space you've built and the peace it gives you. Now let's touch on something that tends to come naturally with age. Recognizing that not every relationship needs to be constantly maintained. Number 4, valuing quality over quantity in your social life. The more friends you have, the more events you're invited to, the fuller your calendar appears, the more socially connected you feel. But as you grow older, you begin to understand that true satisfaction doesn't come from how many people surround you. It comes from the quality of the relationships you maintain. Rather than going out of their way just to socialize, many older adults choose to pour their time and energy into fewer but more meaningful connections. At this point in life, superficial friendships lose their appeal. You're no longer seeking approval, trying to impress others, or holding on to relationships that don't bring real joy. The people who genuinely matter don't require constant contact to stay close. There's an unspoken understanding that friendship isn't about how often you're present. It's about showing up in the ways that truly count. Think about the number of casual acquaintances you've had throughout the years, people you spent time with out of habit, convenience, or social pressure. Now ask yourself, how many of them truly enriched your life? If your answer is very few, then it's easy to see why. As you age, the need to keep up with everyone fades. The friendships that stand the test of time aren't built on convenience. They're built on real trust, mutual respect, and appreciation. Let's consider Evelyn, for instance. She once felt the pressure to stay connected with everyone, making phone calls, planning get-togethers, always trying to stay on people's radar. But over time, she realized something. The ones who truly cared didn't need constant updates or check-ins. She began to prioritize the relationships that felt natural, the ones where she could go weeks or months without talking and still feel that closeness. Suddenly, her social life stopped feeling like a responsibility and started to feel rewarding again. Choosing quality over quantity doesn't mean isolating yourself or cutting ties. It simply means putting your energy into the connections that lift you up and gently stepping away from those that no longer do. It's the realization that real friendship isn't measured by how often you see each other, but by how deeply you connect when you do. Number 5. A shift in priorities and deeper self-reflection. As time passes, you begin to see life through a new lens. The things that once felt urgent, staying socially active, being visible, always being part of the crowd, begin to lose their grip. Instead, your attention turns inward. You start focusing on what brings true fulfillment. You understand that your time is precious, and you begin making decisions based on what gives you peace, purpose, and real happiness. For many older adults, this shift in priorities means that visiting others simply out of routine no longer feels essential. Rather than filling time with activities that no longer bring satisfaction, there's a growing appreciation for self-care, inner growth, and the simple joy of living in the moment. Some find peace in reading, others in rediscovering hobbies they never had time for, and some in simply sitting quietly at home, reflecting on the journey they've taken. Think about it. How many times have you done things purely out of habit rather than true interest? In your younger years, you may have felt obligated to say yes to every invitation, meet social expectations, and constantly stay busy. But now, you have the choice to approach things differently. You can focus on what truly brings you joy, whether that's quiet time alone, cherished moments with loved ones, or just soaking in the calm that comes with growing older. Let's take Samuel, for example. He spent much of his life being highly social, always at events, always showing up. But as time passed, he discovered that solitude brought him more comfort than the constant pull of social interaction. He began taking daily walks outdoors, finally read the books he'd put off for years, and reflected deeply on what genuinely made him happy. Rather than pushing himself to visit others just to maintain appearances, he embraced the idea that solitude doesn't equal loneliness. It means owning your time and choosing peace. This change in priorities isn't about distancing yourself from others. It's about honoring what feels right for you. It's the realization that these years are best lived, not by following old routines, but by embracing what brings meaning, comfort, and contentment. Now let's talk about something equally important: understanding why real friendships don't rely on frequent contact to remain strong. Number 6, understanding that genuine friendships don't require constant visits. One of the most comforting truths that comes with age is realizing that the most valuable friendships don't depend on regular visits or nonstop communication. When you're younger, it can feel like relationships need constant tending. You make frequent calls, drop by often, and go out of your way to keep things going. But with time, you see that real bonds don't break simply because you don't see someone all the time. The reality is, life naturally moves people in different directions. Families expand, goals shift, routines change. But lasting friendships, the ones that really matter, are grounded in something far deeper than proximity. They're built on trust, respect, shared understanding, and a connection that doesn't need constant reassurance. Some of the most meaningful relationships are the ones where you can go weeks, months, or even years without speaking and still feel instantly connected the moment you talk again. Think about your own friendships. There are likely people in your life you don't see as frequently as you once did. Yet, when you reconnect, it feels like nothing has changed. You don't need to constantly prove your loyalty or be in regular contact to maintain the bond. The connection already exists. On the flip side, there may have been friendships in the past where you spent a lot of time visiting, but deep down, they didn't truly bring you the sense of fulfillment you were looking for. Take Elaine, for instance. She used to carry a sense of guilt about not visiting people as often as she used to. She worried that if she didn't keep putting in the effort, the friendships would slip away. But what she discovered was quite the opposite. The people who genuinely valued her never made her feel bad for showing up less. They understood that life evolves and that strong friendships aren't based on how frequently you meet, but on how you're there when it really counts. That's why many older adults begin letting go of the pressure to visit just because they think they're supposed to. True friendships don't require constant interaction. They offer acceptance, support, and a bond that holds steady over time. And if someone makes you feel guilty for not visiting more often, it might be time to consider whether that relationship is really as meaningful as it should be. If you're still watching and finding these reflections helpful, comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on any future videos. Your support allows us to continue sharing content that informs and uplifts. Final thoughts. As we bring this video to a close, take a moment to revisit the 6 reasons why visiting people less often isn't something to feel guilty about. Life changes, priorities shift, and how we connect with others naturally evolves. Whether it's reserving your energy for meaningful connections, avoiding unnecessary tension, enjoying the comfort of home, prioritizing depth over quantity, redefining what matters most, or realizing that genuine friendships don't rely on constant contact. All of these are valid and even empowering reasons to be intentional with how you spend your time. One of the greatest gifts that comes with age is the freedom to live life on your own terms. You no longer feel the need to meet every expectation, maintain surface-level interactions, or make visits just for appearance's sake. Instead, you begin making decisions based on what truly brings you joy, peace, and a sense of purpose. That's not being distant. That's being thoughtful about your time. And when you do choose to spend time with others, it's because you sincerely want to, not because you feel you have to. The most important thing to remember is that your worth isn't defined by how often you see others, but by the connections you maintain in your own way. The people who truly care will know that love and friendship go beyond just being physically there. And as you focus on the relationships that lift you up, you'll see that what remains are the ones that truly give life its meaning. Thank you for joining us today. We'd really like to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one insight you gained today and how you'll use it in your own life. Your thoughts mean a lot to us, so feel free to share. Reading your comments gives us real motivation and support. If you like this video and found it useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep making helpful content to encourage and inform you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.